What's up, y'all? So thanks for tuning in. I wanted to go over this video. This guy name is Glenn Beck. I've watched like one of his videos before, and I thought it was pretty good. You know, I have heard of him before, but every time I hear of him, they just say that he's like an Israel shield and he's a pro-Trump guy, and I mean he's cucked for Israel. But I kind of be honest with you, the one video I saw, he seems pretty balanced. He seemed like he had a balanced take. There wasn't too much I could push back on, to be honest with you. And, you know, part of it is I think they see his age, you know, and then like, oh, here we go, another boomer supporting Trump, you know. But, I mean, the dude seems pretty level-headed. So I want to get into this, and I want to see what he's talking about. So this video is called The Truth About Trump's Iran War Strategy That the Democrats Will Never Admit. So let's get into it, man.
We are told now by some podcasters, incredibly so, that Trump's ceasefire just doesn't make sense. Okay, his ceasefire has been expanded for another 2 weeks, and I'm trying to understand because at first people were saying, you know, he's going to get us all killed. He's going to start World War III. He just wants war. We're going to send all of these soldiers in. First, you say no troops and stop the killing. And so he doesn't send in troops, and he says a ceasefire on all the killing. And now you say, what are we doing? You got to, I guess, start the killing again?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, dude. Like, that shit is getting exhausting. Like, I understand people don't like Trump. I understand he's got issues with Israel but I'm like, bro, like, they want a ceasefire, and then when they get a ceasefire, they're like, oh, he's a bitch. But yeah, when they don't have a ceasefire, they're like, oh, look at this dude, he's a mass fucking murderer. I'm like, well, which one is it, guys? Like, I don't understand. And it'll be the same people saying that shit, too. It's not like one person is saying, oh, you know, he's killing people, and another guy, when he gets a ceasefire, oh, he's a bitch. It's the same person. Literally, sometimes in the same video. I'm like, bro, I don't get it. You know, one thing I have started to notice is people now, like, now that, like, the whole Israel, like, control on U.S. policy is very out in the open now. I feel like people's hatred towards Israel is manifesting, and it is morphing into hatred for the U.S., right? Because obviously Donald Trump has ties to Israel, and people hate that about Donald Trump, and people are starting to hate Donald Trump, okay? Which, justified or not, I mean, we could have that conversation for sure, but at the end of the day, he is the president of the United States, which is the country that I live in. So when Donald Trump has a W, like a ceasefire, I'm going to be naturally inclined to have some sort of, not celebration, because obviously nobody wanted this war to begin with, but at the same time, I mean, is that not what we want? So, like, I would be, you know, I'm appreciative of that. So, but anyways, well, I'm here for it.
I mean, it's almost as if people are hoping for the killing and hoping for destruction. What's his name? The wife of, she asked about Jim Acosta's girlfriend. Sorry, not wife, girlfriend. Jim Acosta's girlfriend was in the White House yesterday, and she asked one of the dumbest questions ever of the president. Listen to this.
So would you use a nuclear weapon against Iran? You posted on Truth Social a few weeks ago.
We don't need it. Why do I need it? Why would a stupid question like that be asked? Why would I use a nuclear?
Bro, and see, this is the L's that Donald Trump takes, man. Where I'm like, bro, you don't gotta react like that, dude. Like, I understand it's you in your mind would never use nukes, and it may be that he would never use nukes because he knows democratically he would be ruined. And that may be the only deferring factor for him not using nukes. It still is a reason why he would never use nukes, though, at the end of the day. And he just loses control. But then, bro, like, I understand that might be an irritating question. He might get that question all the time. But then he just should, like, post stuff on Truth Social, how he's going to annihilate the whole civilization. Well, when people see that and they already don't have a good vision of you, what are they fucking thinking, bro? They're thinking you're going to use nukes. Dude, like, Donald Trump has a massive PR problem. Like, I truly believe that. He's got a massive
weapon.
PR problem.
We've totally, in a very conventional way, decimated them without it. No, I wouldn't use it. A nuclear weapon should never be allowed to be used by anybody.
Okay. The guy is terrified of nuclear weapons. He understands how bad nuclear weapons are. He doesn't want nuclear weapons. I mean, it is so very clear. Why would you?
Again, I don't keep all of it. Okay, so this is the part where I kind of got to push back a little bit. It's like, again, and I got to reiterate what I just said. You can't be like, oh, he's terrified of nukes. He'll never use nukes when he's literally posting shit like that on his social media, that he's going to annihilate a civilization. I'm like, bro, those two things don't compute to most people. To most people. So, and especially the people who don't like you.
Or the controversy.
You don't got to win over the people who like you.
I mean, this is the strategy the president is using. We have told you from the very beginning. This is sanctions with teeth. Everyone said we should do sanctions, more sanctions, right? That's what everybody has said. We got to do more sanctions. Well, sanctions don't work unless they're on steroids and they are a wild animal. You negotiate, but you make sure it's real and you stay out of nation building and regime change, okay? President Trump also extended the Israel-Lebanon ceasefire for another 3 weeks. He also has 3 carriers in the region. He's ordered the Navy to shoot and kill.
That's the next video. I'm gonna start getting into the Israel and Lebanon shit, because honestly, I have no idea what's going on over there. I don't know about any of the drama or any of the war or anything going on over there, but I do want to get into that. And then I also want to go over the Venezuela stuff, because I've done a lot of research on the Venezuela crap. When they seized that dictator, which people say he was democratically elected. No, he wasn't, bro. And no, he wasn't. Anyways, we'll get into it, but let's stay on topic for now. So,
any Iranian boats laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz, he's made it clear nuclear weapons will never, ever be allowed with Iran. And for the first time in years, bad actors are facing real consequences instead of weakness. Now, before I get to the New York Times spin, which is incredible, let me give you the truth on what is happening. And in a minute, I'll show you all the sources behind it, too, so you can decide. Iran's economy is collapsing. Now, would we love to have regime change? Yes, but we don't want to have troops on the ground. We don't want to nation build. We don't want to own it. So we have to fight this war different than we fought any other war in the Middle East. He's collapsing the oil economy. Some say it has days, maybe by this weekend, before it has to shut down their oil wells. If that happens, it's over for Iran. They will have no income. Already their GDP is down over 40%. Can you imagine a 40% drop?
Now, one of the things, and this is an unpopular opinion right now, but people say that we are losing this war. I don't understand, and again, maybe I don't get it. I do not understand how people are coming to that conclusion. How are we losing this war? Obviously, all we have to do is wait them out. Now, when people say that, right, they push back. It's like, well, Donald Trump has a shorter timeline because of midterms. But I'm like, I don't understand how they're coming to that conclusion either. And by all means, if I'm wrong, let me know and I could adjust my opinion. But from what I see, Iran was already on the brinks of collapse. That's why they were having the riots. And again, I know there's a bunch of drama with that, but I'm just saying, they were having riots in the street. They weren't having it for no reason. They were having it because they weren't able to get enough water to literally for their citizens to survive. And their currency, what is their currency? Isn't it like 2 million, whatever the fuck they call their currency, to 1 USD? Like they have, I'm pretty sure they have one of the highest inflation rates in the world right now. Like that is not a stable economy, bro. So I like all we got to kind of do is just wait them out. That's why Donald Trump has stopped going to, I mean, there's a bunch of reasons. One of the reasons I feel like that's why Donald Trump has stopped going to these negotiations is because he kind of knows he doesn't have to, you know? So anyways, that's kind of a different topic, but let's stay on this video.
In our GDP since what, the beginning of April? Their supreme leader is reportedly burned, disfigured, and losing control of his hardline generals, which is not good news. But at least we now know who we're negotiating.
Is that true? Is the Ayatollah's son, whatever the hell his name, I don't know what the fuck it is, but is he losing control? I haven't heard of that. I don't know. We'll have to look into that because that'll be interesting.
Against, okay? The parliament speaker, the guy who we were hoping was going to have charge, just quit the negotiating team. So the regime is cracking, and it is going to the hardliners, and it's still talking tough. The hardliners seem to be in power, but let's wait and see. This whole thing revolves around oil distribution points.
Right.
Donald Trump has said since the early 80s, you want to hit them? You go into Carg Island. You get their pumps. You take their oil. Okay. Well, that's what we did. But we didn't take Carg Island. Normally, we would have bombed it and destroyed it. But that leaves you in the position again where you have to nation build afterwards, because you can't just leave that nation with all those good people, all those Persians and good Iranians with no food, no way to make any money. We don't.
I'm going to push back on that a little bit. I don't know if I believe that. I think we couldn't hit it because we weren't able to get to it. I do believe that. I do believe that Iran truly understands that is their honeypot. They have to protect that. I think that is so protected that I don't think we were able to get to it, or we saw what it would take to get to it and we said, we know what, it's not worth it. We'll just wait them out. So I don't know if I believe that we just didn't attack it because we didn't want a nation built, because I'm like, when the fuck have we ever been worried about that? Like, I'm just saying, I don't think that's a major concern of the U.S. You know, like, we don't want to cause too much damage because then we're going to be responsible rebuilding it. Like, I just don't believe that.
Don't need to occupy or destroy Carg to cripple Iran's oil revenue. The current playbook, and this was confirmed by the Treasury Department on April 23rd, yesterday, it's simpler and it is lower risk. You naval blockade all of the Iranian ports and the tankers. Our forces intercept any of these oil tankers that are headed in to take oil on or heading out. Anything headed toward Carg Island, which is where they fill all of these tankers, is not going to be allowed in or out, especially in. Now, this is already slashed exports from...
See, because again, I'll go back to my original point, or what I just said. If you are putting up a naval blockade to stop anybody from going to or from Carg Island, why would you not just hit Carg Island and not worry about it? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't believe that's true. I think that Iran is they have that stronghold too strongly protected for us to get to it. Or like I said, it's just like I mean, we could get to it, I'm sure, but the casualties it wouldn't be worth it. And I think that I don't know, this is a bit of a conspiracy, but people are saying the down pilot was trying to get to Carg Island and that's why he got shot down. I do kind of believe that there might be some truth to that. I don't know.
1.5 to 2 million barrels per day, near zero since mid-April. But oil, you can't stop the pumping of oil. So all of the oil from the fields that's being pumped is going into Carg Island's tanks. But you got to get it off of the island. You got to get it into tankers, and you let physics do the rest. Okay, Carg's onshore storage is about 13 million barrels. That's spare capacity. But when we block them in with the blockade, it's filling at about 1 million barrels per day net. They say that we're going to hit 13 million barrels, so they'll be out of storage space by April 26th or 27th. That's some estimates. Okay. Once it's full, this is the key. Once it's full, they have to shut down the upstream wells. They have to shut down the oil fields. Or they have to burn the excess crude, which would be a disaster, but don't put it past the hardliners for doing that. If they don't do that, there is permanent damage on the well, and damage that will take you sometimes 6 months to a year, because pressure builds up and it locks in all kinds of. You can, when you turn it back on, you can go from 100 barrels per day to 20 barrels per day because you shut the thing down. And
it's like maybe it has a prime. If you're saying it's upstream, it would have to have a prime, right? Maybe, I don't know, and maybe that'll damage it. That's kind of crazy though. They would build a pump and there's no way to shut it off. It has to be running 24/7. I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't know anything about the pumps that they use over in Iran. The only other thing though is he talks about the capacity, or that like they're gonna run out of space. I guess I'm like, okay, there's nowhere they can put the oil. I mean, shit. If I was Iran, I would. I mean, why would they not put it in a field or something? Like, I'm sure they could figure out something to store more oil, but I don't know. I mean,
it's very long-term talk, costs a lot of money. It's destruction of those wells without blowing them up. This, by the way, according to The Guardian. Now, Trump and his advisors have repeatedly say that's what they want to do. Instead of blowing things up and invasion, they want to push them to the brink. So they're sitting there and the hardliners are saying, let it go. And all of the normal people are saying, you can't. You'll starve the nation. Okay? So seizing the island, that means we have casualties, the Iranian retaliation against the Gulf oil structures and the global price spikes and everything else. It'd be bad. Blockades achieve the same cutoff with the ships that are already there, according to Fox News. Ceasefire was explicitly extended to build this pressure. April 7th, April 8th, the ceasefire and its extension was not about peace and love. It was a tactical pause to do a couple of things. One, find out who we're negotiating with. Are we with the hardliners or the good guys? Who is actually in control? It's just flipped now. Looks like the hardliners are starting to be in control, but we don't know yet. Because there's another story that is just breaking in the last hour or two that it looks like the delegation is going back to Islamabad to actually negotiate this weekend. We don't know who's in it. The blockade in place. Iran gets some breathing room on bombing. We're not killing people and we're not sending troops in. I thought that was a good thing. And the economic vice tighten, which I thought is what everybody said. Even Barack Obama said we should just tighten sanctions. Well, we are. Besant yesterday said, in a matter of days, Karg Island storage will be full and the fragile Iranian oil wells will have to be.
Again, I mean, okay. Like, he keeps going on about this point. I honestly, I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't heard of that. I don't know if it matters though. It doesn't matter how much oil they can store. If they can't sell it, then they can't sell it. Like, I think that's the biggest thing. You know, if we're not letting any oil or any ships in or out, like, that's the ticket. That's the key. So,
be shut off because they'll be shut in. That's from India today. Now, there's a rumor going around today that they are going to set the oil fields, that Iran, the hardliners, will set the oil fields on fire. They'll just start burning the oil and put up some sort of a smoke screen this weekend. I looked and looked and looked. There's no credible reporting on this. There's no confirmation of anybody planning to do that, to burn the crude.
all right, Glenn. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. At least he pushed back on it. He's like, hey, I don't know. I haven't seen any sources on it, so I don't know. That's
Crude
fair.
at Karg or elsewhere this weekend.
I can appreciate that.
That's according to Newsweek. They verified that there's nothing happening, but you can't put it past the hardliners, okay? Because they just might do that. Because what else are they going to do? And if they believe chaos is the answer, well, then how do you negotiate with people who just want chaos? And how do you let a nation that controls the world's oil supply, if they're that crazy, how do you leave them in charge? You can't. Do you see what's happening here? Do you see what the actual question is? You can't. If they're that crazy, you can't let them have control of the choke point. It's bad not just for the U.S., it's bad for the entire world. Plus, by giving this ceasefire a chance, you're letting that pressure work. So you're just doing sanctions with teeth. That's the problem with all the sanctions that we've had. Nobody believes those sanctions. They're like sending a strongly worded letter. This guy, they at least believe. Our own press is saying, would you drop a nuclear bomb on them? Of course not. But at least if they're thinking that, if our own press is thinking about that, what are they thinking? So Iran's actual play.
That's a valid point, to be honest with you, that I have not really given too much thought. This could all be one of his strategies. I mean, to be honest with you, act kind of like a lunatic, just so your adversaries may think that this dude's crazy enough he might actually do some stupid shit like that. That's a fair point. I have not thought about it like that. It's a good strategy. As the president of the United States, like, you also got your own citizens' sanity to think about too. So I wouldn't say that's a good strategy, but it is a strategy nonetheless. And honestly, that gives me a little bit more reassurance to think that, like, he's just not crazy and he's doing it on purpose. I don't know. The former's better than the latter, so whatever.
Is now floating the storage that they sent out a 30-year-old ship, NASA, I think it is, NASA or something, and they're trying to get it into the port, and they're trying to fill that up. If we blow up ships or stop their ships, these empty ships from getting into Karg Island, and we don't let them fill up and relieve that pressure, they have no place to go. They have no place to go. Every time they send a ship in, it'll buy an extra couple of days. Okay, it's not a war-winning strategy, but it buys a few days. Survive and delay. That honestly is the entire strategy of not just Iran, but of NATO, of the WEF, of all of the progressives and
what the fuck is WEF? I want to go over all the NATO shit too. Like, this is a side point. When we'll get back in the video, but I want to go over all the NATO stuff too, because that stuff is crazy. Honestly, like what's going on over in NATO. So there's a lot of stuff that I want to get into, man. This will be fun.
The Marxists and the radicals and the Islamists here in America just survive and delay for the next couple of years, and let's see if we have another president who is going to go back to the Kamala Harris, Joe Biden kind of ways. Just survive and delay. That is the strategy of everyone, because his strategy is right if we can hold it together. But if we start falling apart, if we start getting weak-kneed, they know, and they'll just survive and delay. Do you want to win or not? That's the question. Do you want the West to survive or not? Thank you for thinking for yourself and being part.
Hey, okay. That was a pretty good video. Not gonna lie. He is a little bit kind of pro-Trump. I can see what people are saying. Overall, though, I'm not gonna lie. It was not a bad video. I did appreciate it. I thought he had some good points. And yeah, I mean, like, some of the points he argued about the oil burning and their capacity, and then the pumps will break if they shut them off. I don't know if I buy all that, but honestly, I don't know if it actually matters. Honestly, I don't think it does. I think all we have to do is wait out Iran. Again, because they were a country that was already on the brink of collapse. Okay? So, but all right, guys, I think we're going to cut it off there. This was fun. I appreciate it. I hope you guys had a good time with me. And I'll see you guys in the next one.